What's good, Raider Nation? Welcome to our take. Woo! It only took to week 4 for the Raiders to get to some drama. Let's talk about it. What's good, Raider Nation? I'm Spicy Raider Girl, and in lieu of the Spicy Shield talk, we are doing a special of our take tonight because Chris could not make it. We wish him well, and we will see him next week at 6 o'clock. But tonight, I'm joined with Mother Moon from For Life All Raiderettes Roundtable on our show, and of course, Scotty Waddy Raider 1 from Monday Night Madness, also from our channel. Woo! We are going to get into the drama, and I am here for it. Remember, light that torch, hit that like button, subscribe, and join to become a member. If you want to support the channel, you can always hit that super chat button as well. Where do we even begin?
There's a lot out there. I don't know. Let's just take it from the top.
Take it from the top. All right. Well, last week, the drama kind of started with business decisions being made. And wow, did those business decisions have a whole new meaning this week, right? The rumors of Devonte Adams have been flooding the internet for probably years now. But now it seems like there's some truth to it. He has a hamstring injury. He's not playing. He didn't play last week. He's not playing this week. But who is to blame? Is it the players on the field, or is it the people in the building? Well, I know who I think's to blame. It's probably an unpopular opinion. Maybe not on this panel, but in general, I'm just going to say it. It's the organization's issue.
Absolutely.
Listen,
I agree with that.
You can't keep a coach. You can't keep a head coach. You can't keep a coordinator. You can't keep a city. You can't keep your star players. I mean, get your together. There's only one common denominator, and we all want to sit here and hate on Tay. We all sat here and hated on Jacob. Not we all, excuse me. Retract. Y'all sat here and hated on Jacobs. Y'all sitting here on hating on Tay. How you going to hate on players who want to be respected, be paid what they're worth, have a decent quarterback that can throw to you when you're a stud wide receiver? I mean, are these really things that we're upset about? We're upset that players want to be committed to excellence and they want to just win, baby. Remember all those slogans?
Yeah.
Do those still hold true, or are we just mediocre, baby? And are we commitment to mediocrity?
No, I think any of these men, they grow up wanting to be the best, have that commitment as they go in. If it doesn't take them where their team is now, I feel they have to go with anyone who works in an employee situation. You want the best for yourself and your family. And if it's not where you are at the moment, there may be other options out there for you. So
there are other options. There are 31 other teams lined up. There are many other options. And by the way, if you're playing with us, the drinking game alert is the Raiders organization is the issue. I added that last part. Scotty?
I was just, hang on a second. I was just finishing my prayer for Devonte to go get his ring somewhere else because he ain't going to get it right here. And listening to you in the background, as I talk to the good man above. Tay, go get your ring. You ain't getting it here.
Nope.
Go get your money. Go get your money. I am not mad at you. I think, I couldn't, I was sitting here like, yup, to everything you were saying. Let's see here. We want to be just win, baby. You want to have Mamba mentality and go out there after it and be a winner. But when the organization is a loser, you get mad at the guy that continues to want to be a winner and go somewhere else. How does that work out? So in reality, can I deduct from what Raider Nation is saying all over social media, that you're not committed to excellence. You're committed to losing, because that's what we've been doing. And not let's forget about it. You know what? And I just thought about this. I had this thought a little while ago. You know, you got leaders in organizations, and it goes all the way down. But let's talk about this. Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, and Devonte Adams. You know what they all have in common other than being Raiders? They all wore a C for captain. The leaders of your squads are dipping out on you, and we're sitting here mad at them because they don't want to continue to lose. Get all the way TF of here. Get all the way out of here with that noise. No, stop it. The guy wants to win. I am not mad at Devonte. Look, you know, this guy, let me tell you that. Let's put.
Let it go, Scotty. Why tell us?
It's coming out. Look, I've heard diva. I've heard crybaby.
Oh, right.
All these things. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. Let me recap facts. This is not opinion. There was a picture of Devonte with the Raiders shirt. How old was he? 8, 9 years old?
Yeah.
This guy wants to be a Raider since he was a kid. He gets drafted. Okay. They say, hey, Devonte, come on over. Play with your college friend. He does it. Good for him. College friend gets taken out. You know what? Devonte didn't move.
Right.
Okay. Coach, new coach. Coach is in a shambles. Everything's in a mess. New coach, new quarter. Devonte didn't move. Oh, let's get another coach. Devontae's still here. Devonte didn't move. Now all of a sudden he's a diva. Well, how much would you like a man to take, please? How much would you like him to take? Because Devonte Adams is a business. And that business is a business within another business. So if I make cupcakes and my flour supplier can't supply me with the flour that they promised me, I got to go to another flour supplier. Okay? Period. Devonte Adams is a business. My boy, go get your. And everybody said, oh, he's trying to get paid. He would already paid. Devonte doesn't need any damn money. That boy bought a mansion in Vegas before he even got signed to the Raiders. He was out here looking for mansions. He don't need no damn money. He wanted Vegas. He wanted the Raiders. He wanted to wear the shield. Don't tell me he's a diva now. Get out of here with that notness. Stop it. Stop it. And I got more. I'm just long-winded right now.
You get a little breather there. No, I totally agree. I totally agree. He came to Las Vegas. He's got his money. There's no taxes there. I mean, if he's going somewhere else, he's not. I don't think money's not necessarily number one right now. Although he will get paid, he wants a ring. Yeah. He wants a win. He wants a quarterback where they can mesh and do well together, and get his name in the books for so many achievements that he could be having, but he's just not getting. So
they want to make it about money. Let me tell you something. If you get a divorce and the other half takes half, it's different. See, when you take half of somebody making 100,000, that you only got 50. Oh, damn, that hurts. But when you take a half of a cat that's got 100 million and you leave him with 50 million, guess what? He can still buy a little bit of groceries. He don't care about no damn money. He wants the jewelry. Come on, man. What's everybody talking about?
I agree.
You're muted. You're spicy.
I know what we're saying is probably an unpopular opinion because we've seen everything that's going on Facebook right now. And I hope we have a special guest that's going to come on. I hope he's going to come on and tell us his side, because we want to hear why you think or why you disagree with us. I will love to hear.
I'd love in a second another opinion by somebody who's been there.
Totally. Yeah. But before that happens, I just want to switch gears a little bit and let's talk about how AP, the new head coach, is handling these situations. Okay. He made the business decision comment. I've mentioned, I thought that was an inappropriate forum for him to say that in. That should have been kept behind closed doors. Apparently, he apologized for that. And then how he handled those business decisions, he went on to say, we're going to keep those behind closed doors, which I agree with. But then he goes and does something, to me, inappropriate, childish, and not something a head coach should be doing. He goes on Instagram, AP, and likes this post by Sports Illustrated that says, "Don't be surprised if Devonte Adams has already played his last snap with the Raiders," and liked it.
Oh, that's messy.
And then when asked about it in the presser, totally dodged the question, and all he could say after every question asked was, "I'm just looking forward to the Broncos game. I'm moving on to the Broncos game." It's like, no apology, no I messed up, no accountability. Now, he did go back between, I think, the presser and sometime today, and he unliked it.
He
But
did.
like, what is this? Is a head coach. We're on Instagram liking and unliking rumors that are floating on Instagram. Like,
damage is done.
Yeah,
You know,
you can't unring the bell.
Right.
Yeah, and you know, my thing on that, I'm not ready to give I'm not ready to throw AP away, but I do agree that he's making some he's a little bit loose on the mouth and is wearing his feelings a little bit too much on his sleeve.
There's that. Yeah.
You know, I'm not, that doesn't mean that I want to throw him away, but I think somebody needs to, you know, tighten him up a little bit. Hey man, look, this you can't unring the bell. You know, just chill on that.
And let's see. It was on. I believe it was. This was. I want to say. I think it was just yesterday. But he did have a little interview, and they asked him about it. He didn't say much. He couldn't say much, probably. But I think the I don't know her name. My apologies, girl, because you were my spirit animal. But her response to me was everything. Let's take a look here, and hopefully, let's see. Let me just play this. Sorry, my bad. Let's play this here real quick.
Or your coach did, I actually don't know, likes this post about you getting traded. So my first question is, how soon did you hear from coach?
Yeah, I haven't heard from him. I haven't talked to him. So I haven't, I don't know. I don't really know exactly what that was about. Obviously I got, you know, social media is a beast. So it's a lot of people out there that saw it and, you know, wondering what's going on and people reaching out. And yeah, I haven't spoke to him.
Okay. Well, I would think you work together every day. So if that, I would say, right. oh shoot, I accidentally hit that. I unliked it. Now it's this huge story. Is that just kind of like what the dynamic is? That's not something that you want to hear from him?
Honestly, it's hard to comment on. And okay. I'm sure you would imagine as such, but it's one of those situations where I just keep my head down and keep doing my thing.
So there you have it. I mean, her response to me is everything. She's stuttering. She kind of stuck a little bit confused. He kind of laughs at her response. I mean, he handled it well. What's he supposed to say, right? I thought he handled it well. But clearly that her reaction is how everyone's feeling. Like, it's a little just unbelievable, right?
Yeah, and I agree with her. You know, there's been times where I scrolled and I liked something. Oh, no, that was a mistake, right? So you unlike it. But for him not to own it is one thing. It's like, oh, that was a mistake. And he also said whether he talks to him, he says, I talk to him often. He kind of shrugged. It's like, yeah, I talk to him often. And it's like, yeah, I'll leave it up to Devonte to talk. And it's like, that's just not how a coach should behave.
Right.
So that's, yeah.
They even asked him today during the presser, like, is he in the building? And he said something like, he should be rehabbing. Should be rehab. Yeah, he's yeah, Scotty, I don't want to take the words out of your mouth. We talked about this a little bit earlier, and I'll let you elaborate. But I think this is how you lose respect. This is how you lose the locker room. Scotty, you want to elaborate?
So, I'll just say this, and maybe it is, or maybe it just comes off as maybe giving AP a pass, but I want to leave it here for now. Devontae's been in the league since 2014. AP is just coming into the limelight of doing pressers and stuff. I know he was in the league as a player, but he's coming into the limelight as a coach who has to be in front of him. Devonte looked a lot more professional, if you will, in his reactions, and AP's looking a lot unprofessional. Has somebody said something to him about it? I don't know. Maybe so. But again, we talked on Monday night about how, well, it seems like he talked to Jack Jones. Jack Jones understood. So he's talking amongst men, and we said, okay, well, if that's what you want to do, that's cool. But then he turns around with this Devonte situation, and it's kind of the opposite. So is AP not being the consummate professional that he should be as one of 32 people in this world that gets a chance to be a current head coach? No, he's not. Hey, somebody go take his phone away. His daughter, his granddaughter, whatever. Go grab his phone. Go grab his phone. Take it away from him, and give him one of them flip phones that ain't got no social media on it, and you can dial off there, bro. But the smartphone ain't working for you right now, brother.
We got a different AP in this presser today, right? I thought he looked uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He didn't look like he had confidence. He didn't have the swag that we're used to seeing. Yeah. That's going to trickle down. But let's say what's up. Well, hopefully our special guest will come through. Let's say what's up to some of these people in the chat here. Raider Paul, thanks for joining us. Unfazed in the building. Salute to you.
Peace.
Nice 209. He wants to go buy, but you're not going to get him for nothing. Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm seeing, what I'm seeing that the Raiders will get for him is not too impressive. I mean, I've seen 2nd round, 4th round draft picks. We know those could be a crapshoot. Like, I'm not sure that that's going to, and some money, of course, but they still got all that. They still got a lot of money from that Jimmy G contract. So yeah, so far what I've seen, I'm not super impressed with what's out there as of right now. Alpha Omega forever. AP ought to be ashamed of himself causing this distraction right now.
100% agree.
Yeah, it's like can we get a drama less season for once, and we don't need it coming from the head coach. April says these are players that want to win, and the organization is in their way. I don't blame these players, especially Tay. Yeah, I'm right there with you, girl. Rambo Adventures, what's good? All the way from Thailand. Spicy, I told y'all last week that the hammy was fake and a trade was coming. Well, I guess you can predict the future, sir. Fishing Game, what's good? But let's see. Who else? King Savage in the building. Trade Tate to the Jets for Garrett Wilson. All right. We throwing some ideas out there. And our special guest did come through, and I'm so excited to hear what he has to say. This man needs no introduction whatsoever. But we've got former Raider in the building with a very different opinion than ours, and I'm dying to hear what it is. Stuart, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Scotty, Mother Moon, Spicy. How's everyone doing, man?
It's good. How are you?
Doing really good. Very, very good. So
talk to us.
I caught some of the beginning of what we were saying, and get me caught up on each of your opinions on Devonte.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start. I don't blame Devonte. I don't blame Devonte for wanting to win. The Raiders haven't proven to really be able to put it all together. And I think he's tired of it. They traded Carr without any plan. Now they've got a quarterback, in my opinion, that doesn't have the strength, doesn't have the accuracy to throw to him. This is an elite wide receiver who doesn't have the proper tool to get him the ball. I understand why he's upset. I think it's the organization that is the problem, not necessarily Tays, Jacobs, and all the other guys that have been unhappy, disgruntled, if you will, and want out.
Okay.
And so, go ahead, Scotty.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm basically the same. I think Devonte had last year to think about it, to work on it, and this year just isn't going his way. He wants a W. He wants that ring, and if he has to go elsewhere, then that's where his heart desires, to be the number one in his career, and he may have to move and go to another team. So I'm behind any player that has to look towards their own future, their own stats, their pocket. Unfortunately, it's unraveling, not as we like, but I'm behind him at whatever decision he chooses.
Scotty?
I'm on both of their tailcoats. I'll just add to, because I agree with everything. We and I said this earlier. We asked for players with a winning mentality, We ask for players to go out there and work hard and do everything they can. Devonte Adams has stuck with the team with, I believe they dangled something pretty in front of him to get him over here. He's stuck with them through several changes, through 5 quarterbacks. And you might as well add a 6th one, because what we have right now isn't the answer. So, if there's going to be a 6th quarterback change, they still haven't fixed that situation. How can I be mad at somebody? He's a business. How can I be mad at somebody who wants to win? I just can't. I think this is an organizational problem. I've been saying this for quite some time now. And I think the organization has let everybody down again.
Well, I want to say this. First of all, I want to say I appreciate, as a former player, the fact that you guys are supporting the player. So I commend you for that, and I commend the chat for that. When I have a couple questions. So when you guys say it's an organizational problem, what exactly do you define as the organization? Who would that entail, I guess?
Yeah, for me, I guess it starts with the top, right? You've got to start with Mark Davis, then it trickles down to, unfortunately, we can't pinpoint just one president or just one GM, because even that's overturning. So they really don't even have any.
Did I miss something with that? What's going on with that? Is there something going on with the front office?
No, I'm just saying there's been a lot of overturn in each position, right? There's been a lot of overturn. We've gotten, we had Mark Bedade out in New York, and now we have Sandra Douglas Morgan. No disrespect to either one of those. I'm just saying there's a lot of overturn, right? There's a lot of overturn with the GM. We've got a new GM this year, and I think that with that much turnover within any business, and it's constant, and then you put a head coach in, and a different head coach so many times, each coach is going to have a different vision, and then you fire that one, or that one leaves, and this, that, and the other. You really can't see any vision through when there's so much overturn. So I think they need to have consistency, and they need to get it together. They need to have a plan. I mean, you get rid of Carr, agree with it or not, but then there's no backup for that. Okay.
When you say organization, though, you're saying from Mark down to the assistant special teams coach.
Yeah, exactly. The guys, the people making the decisions.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. I'll take that just a touch further. I think when you get into, yes, all the way down through the coaches, but I think when you get into the coaching, I have never been on the field. You can tell me, but I think the coaching may be not the shot callers that we exactly think they are, but I think there's a little bit of their fault and a little bit not their fault. But I think they share some of the blame with it too, as far as organization goes.
Moon?
Well, I believe it starts from the top. And if the coach on the field, the coaches on the field have some type of an issue with a player, of course, I'm not saying he does, but I'm just saying they're going to take that to the top. Hey, this isn't really meshing with us, whomever they're speaking to higher up. We need to really evaluate what is going on collectively and how should we handle this. If he wants to go, do we let him go, or do we fight for him to stay with us? I think there has to be good communication between everyone, and it just seems to be lacking that, and just not coming through to us, because we see it as a break in the team.
Well, I want to say that I think football is the greatest sport in the world, the greatest team sport, because it literally takes from Mark Davis to the guy that cleans the bathrooms in the stadium. Like, literally and I include the fans in there as well. Everyone is a part of a win, and everybody is a part of a loss, right? Mm-hmm. It's just, obviously there's some bigger pieces than others. All right. So when I look at these pieces and I see, and here's kind of how you look at pieces, right? You look at, it's very simple. It's who makes the most money. All right. Those are the guys that you look to for production, right? For leadership, for the younger players to come to and to learn how to be a pro and how to be a Raider, right? And the one thing with Devonte that I've noticed, I've always had I've tried to like the guy. I've never been able to do it. And I don't know what it is about him. I've never been able to like, he does things that I don't agree with. And when I say I don't agree with, I'm going off of what I was used to playing. Now, again, am I saying what we did is no, everything's different, right? I'm not saying that what we did was perfect, but that's all I can go off of. And I played with multi Super Bowl winning players and league MVPs and Hall of Fame players. And I saw how they acted, and they don't act like the Devonte doesn't act like a Hall of Famer. Devonte doesn't act like a Super Bowl champion, right? He's saying that he wants to go and win a Super Bowl. He was with Rodgers for 7 years and didn't win one, you know, and he had every opportunity to go back to Green Bay. He chose not to. Okay.
Right.
And again, there were times last year where we're winning games, but he's upset because he only got 2 passes. I know this. Okay. The amount of trash that I hear about Randy Moss was one of the greatest teammates I ever played with. That guy would go into the huddle and say, listen, guys, I don't care who the fuck scores a touchdown. I will run my ass off and bring 3 guys with me to get somebody else open. But God damn it, if you're open, catch it and go score, right? I don't want touchdowns. I don't want this. I want to win. Okay. And Devonte, clearly, if we're winning games and he's still poop-outing because he didn't have enough catches, that really concerns me about what's important to him at the end of the game. Does he really care if we win, or does he get his catches? So that's a concern for me. And he's been with us since what, 2022, you know, and he comes in Derek Carr. I mean, the way that Derek Carr left, I thought was fucking bullshit. I can swear on here. Can I swear on here?
Yeah, go for it. It's your floor. It's your platform, Stu. Go for it.
The way that Derek Carr left was complete. Yeah. I'm a Raider. He's still on contract, and he just doesn't show up for the last 2 games of the season.
Oh, yeah.
You guys just didn't show up for work. Just didn't show up.
Yeah, that was wild to me.
Can you do that? You can't do that.
Okay, can I just say something that since you brought up Derek Carr and kind of back to like what our thought is with being an organizational problem, like you just said, that was horribly handled. Whether you disagree with that or not, they could have at least had a plan, right? And I think
hold on for what?
For the way Derek Carr left. I mean,
when I say horrible, horrible on him. Not okay. He chose.
No. I agree. He should have showed up.
I just want to say this. Think about what that organization and you guys as a fan base and me as alumni, 10, 11 years, we gave that guy everything he wanted, everything, money, everything for his family, bringing in players specifically for him. And as soon as we're going, hey, let's just maybe just see if something else. He jumps ship and gets behind his brothers and leaves. Yeah. I mean,
no, listen, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. The way he handled that was not a team player. He didn't show up for his team. I guess.
Well, I don't know if he's not a team player. I don't want to say that. I'm saying it. When you don't show up for 2 games, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. When you don't show up for the last 2 games. I mean, look at Jimmy G. He even stood on the sidelines when he was benched. But just to make the point to like the organizational issue is they should have had some sort of plan. I think you're going to get rid of Carr. Okay, cool. I think except for Scotty, maybe I agreed with the move. I didn't see a plan. Well, or there was a plan and it fell apart. They weren't getting rid of Carr. They just said, "Hey, listen, you know what? We're gonna go in a different direction this week." Okay. They didn't say, "Hey, listen, we want you out of here." They didn't say that. They just said, Carr, we're gonna have a change. And instead of him being a leader and going, "Hey, you know what? Right now I'm not playing well. Things just aren't working out. You know what? Let me help this team out in another way. Let me help some young quarterback out. Let me help my offensive line out. Let me help my receivers out." And when he had an opportunity to show us really his him being a Raider, he gave up on us, guys.
Oh man,
I just want to make it clear, I'm not defending Derek Carr at all.
I got to jump in there on this.
Go for it. Go for it.
Hold on. 9 years of rotating coaches, of dysfunction, of changing cities, and then we're mad because at the last he's like, you know what? To hell with this. Come on.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend
we are.
Hold on. My girlfriend cheats on me 30 times, but you're mad because I left the 31st time? I can't.
How can you call? Wait, hold on 1 second, Scotty. How can you say that the 10 years he was with the Raiders and got paid for top quarterbacks and he's never won a playoff game, that's like the Raiders cheating on him? He was cheating on us. He was stealing from us.
Hold on a second.
When we want him to actually show some character.
Hold on. Like, at the beginning when you came on, it says you said it takes everybody from the owner to the guy that cleans the bathroom, including. But now it's only Derek Carr that was in charge of winning games.
Did I say that?
No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that.
You said we gave him this money and he couldn't win. It's a team sport.
Listen. What I said was we gave him everything he asked for 10 seasons. Or 11 seasons. I don't even know how many. Everything he needed. And he's getting paid top dollar for a quarterback and can't win a playoff game. And as soon as things don't go exactly the way that he wants, when he can actually step up and show character and go, man, you know what? Maybe I do need to look at the man in the mirror and go, you know what? Maybe I do need to work on some things. And you know what? Because here's the thing I'm saying that, you know what? If he didn't stand up there and say, I'm a Raider and I love this organization, I would do it. And he sat up there and cried tears as a grown man on national TV, as the leader of the Raiders organization, how much he loved us. As soon as things didn't work out perfectly for him, he was gone.
That's the point. That's the point of the story there.
No, that's true. And that's true. I mean, he claims having the Mamba mentality. He never did. I don't think he ever did. He was okay with
Mamba mentality.
Oh, yeah. My biggest problem with Derek Carr was the moment he said it's just a game, because it's literally his livelihood. Imagine us showing up to work and being like, oh, it's just my job. You know, it's just a game to me as a fan. It's not just a game to you as an employee. Like, to me, that to me was his mindset.
Well, I just want to know, I mean, Scotty, give me an example of when the Raiders during those 10 seasons didn't give him everything he wanted.
He didn't have a defense for 9 years.
What are you talking about?
We were bottom of the barrel defense for all those years.
Why would he be worried about the defense? He's a quarterback. You worry about the offense. Let the coaches worry about the defense.
But you don't need a defense to win a game.
What? Yes, you need everybody, right? That's what I said in the beginning.
Well, that's my thing. So then, why is it only on Derek Carr for not having won the?
I just want to know when because obviously there's two houses, right? I hate Derek and I love Derek, and the people that love Derek, whenever I bring up things, what do? They deflect it to all the other things besides talking about Derek. Oh, he needed a defense. Oh, he had coaches. That's how it is. I mean, coaches are constantly going through. I mean, that until you're figuring out things that's going on. I was amazed to have a player last through as many head coaches as he did when he didn't win a playoff game. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Real quick, Scotty, let me just interject really quickly just to address the chat.
Scotty, just so you know, I'm not like, I love this back and forth, just so you know.
Oh, no, I'm not mad. No, not at all.
So real quick, and just to clarify the conversation, we are talking about Carr in this instance.
Yeah.
But overall, we're talking about, is it the players on the field that are the issue, or is it the execs in the building? So we started with Tay, we're on the Carr, we might get into Jacob. So we're kind of just trying to, we're having a discussion on what's the problem.
3 more minutes, and then I'll let you guys. So again, you bring up Jacobs. Look at how he acted when he didn't get exactly what he wanted. He didn't even send a message to the Raiders fans. He didn't even say thank you for all the support, because it's not like, again, not with Jacobs, it's not like we just said, get the fuck out of here. He just didn't have enough. We didn't give him enough money. So as soon as the dollars didn't add up, It has nothing to do with I'm a Raider. It's who's going to pay me the most.
Can I want to stand up for Josh Jacobs for a minute. And I don't even want to talk about necessarily the trade and all that type of thing.
There's a theme here when you talk about Carr and you talk about Jacobs and you talk about Devonte Adams coming up. There's a pattern there. So that's what I'm getting.
No, but I just want to address the one thing you said about how he didn't address the fans. I think it was because the Raiders fans are so quick to turn on you like they have with Tay already. Why would you? I mean, I'm sure he saw all the stuff of how Raiders fans were trashing him throughout the process. I mean, would you? I mean, I don't.
What now? Who are we talking about? Jacobs,
because you said he didn't thank the fans. I mean, when he wanted his.
First of all, he came into that last season severely overweight. He was not prepared for that season. He came in, he held out, and then you saw what happened. And then as soon as fans, you guys should expect more. You should expect more from these guys.
We do. I think that's what we're trying to say.
These guys are leaving.
Everybody.
These guys are leaving, and they don't give a shit about the organization. They don't give a fuck. If someone pays them $1,000 more than another team, they're out there.
I just want to say this one statement. I don't think the organization gives a about the fans either. So you can't expect loyalty. Loyalty works all ways. Like you can't, we're like so blindly loyal to this team where they think they can just move cities, go here, they'll go trade. They're going to follow us no matter what. It doesn't matter what we do. They're going to follow us no matter what.
So guys, you got to realize why they moved. Do you guys realize why they had to move?
I get it all. I understand it. I'm just my bigger point is
if we would have stayed, why do you think we could never get any big free agents? And if we got free agents, it was at the end of their career where they're getting their last contract. First of all, the state tax is going to kill anybody. They're not going to want to come out there.
That's a big part of it.
The stadium was terrible. The practice facilities terrible.
Now you bring that up. Does anyone want to come to Vegas and play for the
That's what
Raiders?
I was just
if everything's constantly overturning, like we're seeing guys leave faster than they're coming in.
When Al Davis had the Oakland in Oakland, we would have every year. Gene Upshaw, God rest his soul, head of our union, would come in and show the revenues of what teams are worth. We were consistently 31 or 32 as far as team revenue goes, right? So if you don't have team revenue, you don't have money. You're not going to be able to build the facilities. You're not going to be able to get the coaches that you want. You're not going to be able to get the free agents, right? So what Mark Drew said, fuck this, I'm out of here. Going down, builds a beautiful stadium, $2 billion stadium, brand new practice facilities. Henderson, Vegas is great for families to grow and to be in a major city, but not in a major city. And then you have to look at the fact that, shit, where was I going with that?
Well, you think about it. Someone said Stu has the best argument for this, and we love it, and that's why I want to hear. By the way, I have mad respect for you, Stu.
Scotty, what was I talking about?
Well, one thing
you were talking about moving to Las Vegas.
Forgive me. Right. So by him moving down there, the team went from, like I told you, constantly 31, 32 to now. I want to say we're like third overall for the most the most highest revenue earning teams. So when you are able to do that, free agents and families want to come to Vegas because you got to think about this. Vegas is the entertainment capital of the world.
That revenue is coming from away. I disagree. The revenue is coming from away.
You are a superstar.
No, I agree with the revenue is coming from the away teams. We have a brand new home for away teams to come and party in. We're outnumbered every game I've been, except for the Carolina Panthers game. We've been outnumbered. Sure, if you talk about bottom line, you talk about a business.
On the road, though, we almost outnumber teams that we're going in and playing, aren't we?
But
I'll tell you on that because it's actually cheaper to go out of state than to go to Las Vegas.
Yep.
The flights are cheaper. The hotel is cheaper. Everything. So more fans, not that they're broke. I'm not saying that, but it's a place to go to another state where a family can enjoy and not just I can't bring my kid today. I'm just traveling by myself to Las Vegas. It's just not doable every week.
Well, let's go back and be realistic. Do you think that the Oakland Coliseum Coliseum was a family environment? Do you think people wanted to bring their families to the Oakland Coliseum?
We did.
Well, if you ask me, yeah.
We did.
Look,
Honestly, I mean, let's be honest.
I'll give you the argument.
I am honest. We did. We brought grandparents. We brought children. I grew like literally grew up there as a child. We brought a little Chucky as a 4 or 5 year old. Grandparents went.
Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that people don't realize when free agents would come in. All right, and this is just the honest to God truth. And I love Oakland. Trust me, I love Oakland. I love downtown Oakland. I love all of the places. I love everybody there. I loved Oakland. But when it came down to the wives going, are you shit? I'm not going to have my kid raised in Oakland because of just
you mean to live. You mean to live. I thought you meant to go to the game.
I'm saying free agents. Here's the thing.
I see.
Lifeline, just like in college, the lifeline of a college team is its recruits. Okay. Right. A lifeline of a organization is going to be a free agency, right? Fortunately, they have draft picks where they don't have a choice. I mean, I'm thinking the amount of money that I lost just because I was drafted to Oakland alone. I mean, 49% of my money is gone.
Yeah.
Right. So you talk about free agents and stuff. Devonte Adams, I want to say because Green Bay, I think, offered like $7 or $8 more million, but he chose a smaller contract in Vegas because technically he's actually making more money because of the Wisconsin state tax that had a lesser. So it's very appealing as far as the contracts go. Brand new facilities, brand new practice facilities, great place to raise a family. And
it's about money.
But then why can't we really get this talent? Like, why aren't we really I mean, so and I'm really asking. I'm not trying to rebuke. Like, why can't we get a star quarterback? Why can't we get some star players?
I mean, think about it. We moved to Vegas with Carr, so that's our guy. We're not looking for a star quarterback. We already have a star quarterback, and then when he leaves, we're doing best with what we have. You know what I mean?
Just in general, I guess. Let me just ask you this: besides Max, who was drafted by the Raiders, who's really flocked to the Raiders to say, "I want to be a Raider and I want to play on that team"? Because I honestly can't really think of any.
Devonte Adams.
Well, right, and now he wants out.
Well,
Devonte Adams, Jack Jones.
Can I make this point? Will you address this part of it, Stu? And again, I appreciate the back and forth too. Three key players on the Las Vegas Raiders have one thing in common other than being a Raider. Hold
on. So you said three. Say that again. I just want to make sure I have
three key players on the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah,
have something in common that other than being Raiders, they all wore the captain patch. Yeah. Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, Devonte Adams. They're all gone. That's your leaders of your team. To me, what you're saying is fine. I get it. Maybe your lens is looking at it from a business standpoint, and I get that. That's fine. But when your leaders are leaving, there's a common denominator in it. And they're all leaving under the same circumstances. They're all disgruntled. What? I mean, I'll leave it to you. I mean, what do you
so actually, you saying that they have C's on their chest, right? So you again, the value of a player, okay, the amount of years they've been in, their contracts, and if they're captains. Okay, I didn't say that earlier, but yeah, if they're captains. Here's the thing: these guys, when you're a captain, okay, there are certain expectations. There are things that a captain can't get away with and can't do that other players can. A captain, when you're a captain, you have to do everything right. Okay. You have to be, because guess those young guys, who are they looking to? Who are they going to look to figure out, okay, how do I make it in this league? How do I be productive, and how do I represent myself, not only as an NFL football player, but even higher standards of a Raider player, right?
Sure.
I was very fortunate. Warren Sapp, Charles Woodson, Ray Buchanan, Zach Crockett, Tyrone Wheatley. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I was very fortunate. Philip Buchanan, Namdi. I mean, these guys, those guys were guys I looked up to. And when you have a C on there, again, these guys and again, it wasn't as if the Raiders for let's say Carr, we're going to owe him this bonus money if he has this many starts or throws us, so let's sit him. No, he got sat because he wasn't producing. That's why he got sat. Okay. Mm-hmm. The first time the Raiders, again, didn't give him everything he wanted, what'd he do? He jumped ship. Jacobs, we've given him everything he wanted. We even tried to match the contract. He couldn't get out of here fast enough for a little extra money. Okay. And now Devonte Adams, right? Again, I talked about last year. We win a game, yet he's mad. Doesn't fucking talk to the media, which again, that's part of your job description. Again, if you guys, whatever your job that you do, if you just go, nah, fuck it, I'm not going to do that today. What other profession?
I actually didn't realize that. I didn't know that.
Let you get away with that. And then
I didn't know that happened.
What's that?
I didn't realize that. I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, and then I mean, even sitting here, obviously everyone knows my feelings on AOC. They have the first law thing against San Diego when they threw that pick was a stupid fucking play to begin with. Devonte doesn't even do interviews. You had Aiden O'Connell, a rookie, sitting there, going up there and showing more respect to you guys as fans, to me as an alumni, and to the Raiders organization by answering and going, yeah, I fucked up. Yep.
Yeah.
You're right. I got to do better. And then you got your captain. Fuck it. I don't got to address the media. And then again, I don't know I tried to look the play up. I guess he was giving weird faces on the game on Sunday. People like, oh, whatever. You can't do that, man. I mean, here's a guy, again, you're not playing and you're shaking your head. Why? I mean,
where does that come from? Does that come from just thinking he's a shit?
It's fucking arrogance. It is narcissism. It is people blowing smoke up his ass. It's fans and players and coaches. Just letting them get away with shit. And it's not right, guys. It's not right, because I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care who you are. That NFL train, when you get off, it's going to keep on rolling. It does not stop with you. And you got a pretty good setup out here, man. I mean, the fans, as you can see right now, Devonte Adams walks on water. Trust me, last year, he lost us some games, guys. He lost us some fucking games. He did. Okay? I mean, that's just the honest to God truth. And now, whatever happened, and here's the other thing. Antonio Pierce. I played with Antonio Pierce when he was with the Giants. Antonio Pierce is a guy that was a walk-on at college, was a free agent. Antonio Pierce has a fucking Super Bowl ring. Devonte doesn't. So you know what? In the world of the NFL, the guys with the Super Bowl rings and yellow jackets, if you don't have those, you shut the fuck up and you listen to what those guys say. But these younger players, they don't have respect for that, right? And here's the other thing. I know there were instances in that locker room where Devonte Adams, guys are going, dude, what the fuck you doing, man? Leaders of the defense.
Since you brought up AP, can I ask you a question? How do you feel about his handlings with the business decisions comment in the presser? How he's liking post on Instagram about Devonte getting traded? Like, do you think that's acceptable?
Say this.
Do you think that's professional?
As far as the commenting, I don't really have an opinion on that, because I don't know in my mind how to translate that to something that was, because it just wasn't around right when I was going through. So I don't know if that's right or wrong. I don't know. I really don't. Probably shouldn't have. It's a little. It looks a little high schoolish. Yeah, a little bit, totally. Right? But as far as him saying some guys had business, that's completely fine. That is completely fine. I would. Here's the other thing, though. I would much rather. And again, I want to say this. My opinion is limited, because for me to really, really know, and I've said this before, for me to really, really know and have a very good idea of what's going on, I would need to be out there for a week and watch practice and watch how these guys train and how the coaches talk to them and how they prepare and do all that stuff, because I don't like when there's guys that are, you know what? Let me know. Who is it? Who is the guy that's fucking up, right?
Right.
So hopefully behind closed doors it's being addressed, because there may be guys, when you say that, it's very passive aggressive, and I hate that shit. You know what I mean? Like, there may be guys that coaches are going, we got guys that are making business decisions, and the guy who they're talking about, he may not even know. He doesn't even know they're talking about him. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, if I'm the guy fucking up, let me know. I mean, when I would started getting cut, coach, Stu, no, you're good. And it's like, dude, I don't need you to fucking pat me on. Let me know if I'm fucking up and I'm about to get fired. Like, tell me.
No, I think Spicy brought that up on the last show. She's like, let the guy know. Let him in the locker room and know what's going on.
And you know,
how all these guys getting insecure. It's like, did I screw up? What was I supposed to do something? Are they talking about me? All that. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Stu.
Hey, Stu, while we have you, do you mind? There are some comments that, if you don't mind addressing.
And I just want to say this to you guys. Everyone's comment is right. Okay. Like, I'm not saying like what I'm saying is right. It's just, I'm just saying what I'm saying, just like you guys are saying what you're saying. And I always say this, as long as you guys, I love this stuff. I love back and forth. I love it because you guys, you have a reason for why you're saying it. Okay. And that's the biggest thing is, I get so upset when these people come on and they throw out these, this dude is this and that's, and it's like, and then they just move on. It's like, man, at least give me some reasons why you think that. You know what I mean?
I think, and I was wondering, and as I'm listening to you, what I'm gathering from the back and forth is that we all see it from a different lens.
Absolutely.
And I think you're seeing it from the lens of, look, I was this Raider organization's team, and I think you're seeing it from there, and it's absolutely valid what you're saying, and like you're making good points. And I'm like, that makes sense. But I think
just because of what it was back then, it's a fucking different era.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Exactly what I'm going
just
with.
because I'm sitting here going, well, I wouldn't do that, but it's different now. So maybe that's how it's I don't know. I don't know. That's what I think all our mix of opinions is really coming from. What lens are you looking at it from? Well, but I totally understand your guys' aspect though. When you flick it, you're going, well, what the fuck? Like, why is this?
Well, because we're not in it, right? We're in the stands. Right. We're fans, and that's why I love.
Hey, listen, I'm not in it either.
But you have been. But you have been. You have been, right? You've been in the huddle. You've been in the locker room. You've been at the practices. Like,
well, I haven't been in those huddles, and I haven't been in those locker rooms.
Sure, but still, even though you haven't been in these huddles, I mean, even when you brought up the example with Randy Moss, and you see that different sort of mentality and stuff. And by the way, I thought that was very interesting that you say that, because Randy Moss gets so much hate from Raider Nation. In fact, he claims he's not a Raider. Yeah. So I just think that your perspective is so unique and so genuine. And we only know what we know as a fan, right? We watch in the stands and on TV.
And again, I just want to make it very clear. I'm not going to come on here and I'm going to go, what in the fuck? You don't know. Like, that's not anything. All of us are everyone in here, we're all fighting for the same thing. Yep. We are. Yeah. And there's guys, for whatever reason, there's guys that I like that you guys don't like. And there's guys that you like that I don't know why. It's just, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Right. So I just, what I'm saying, the thing to me is I look at you guys as fans, and I look at what Mark Davis has done. And I mean, his life has been given to the Raiders, and the amount of money and everything he's doing to win games. It's not as if he's doing this shit to lose, guys. And then you have these players come in, and as soon as it's a time for them to show character and go, hey, you know what? Listen, I know things are kind of going off right now, but I want to be a Raider. We can deal with this contract shit after this season. I mean, how much money do these guys fucking need? I mean, honestly, you know what I'm saying? I mean, really, $28 million compared to $29 or $30 million, and you're gone. I mean, again, it's unfortunate because the fans, is why these contracts are so huge.
Would you say that agents play a big part in those type of things also?
As far in what aspect, Scott?
As far as 28 million versus 29 million to go here or to go there, and then also now we have as opposed to when you were playing, we have a bigger concern, if you will, for injury and what's your lifespan in the NFL, and those things I think come into play more now than I believe when maybe you were playing.
You bring up a good point. Again, Devontae's, it's not as if he's 27, 28. He's right. One Achilles or wrong step with an ACL and might be done. The guy's he's getting up there.
And that's what I mean. Does the agent say, "Hey, man, you're 31. You need the," and I'm not only talking about Devonte.
Yeah.
31. Hey, man, this may be the last contract you get.
Absolutely.
Let's go out there and get they play a role in what I think that's got to have something to do with it also.
Absolutely.
I would imagine, you tell me, you have to trust your agent, correct? He's basically your lawyer in the situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's got to come into play also.
So
for $1 million or $2 million, do you want to not be a Raider?
Sorry, go ahead, Mother Moon. Go ahead.
I'm saying for $1 million, for $1 million, $2 million, is your heart really not being a Raider? Is it worth leaving?
I wouldn't think it was. You know what I mean? I would think, it just the people nowadays, and I don't know of whatever generation this, from 2020 or 2000 to these people now, it's like, I can't, like, they say things and they don't realize the power of the words that they say. You know what I mean? I love this place.
Right.
And you know what I mean? I would die for these people. And it's like, dude, like, they go top shelf right away, right? But they don't mean it. I would have no problem if Devonte, and again, like Carr, saying this, because again, guys, actions speak louder than words. You can sit there and say that you're this and you're a Raider because everything's working in your favor at that point, right? But as soon as something gets a little uncomfortable, fuck you, I'm out of here. Fuck off.
Hey,
it's like
and not to cut you off here, there's some interesting comments in the chat there. I maybe you can touch on them. There's
we'd love for you to get to some of these comments if you do have some time.
Go for it. That's I'm just going off of again. I can only go off of what I know from what I learned, and the players, the great players that are the guys that are making the money and winning the Super Bowls and being those guys like Devonte is now. They would never act like these guys are acting, like Carr did, or like
you've kind of said that before.
And that's all I can go off of, right? That's all I can go off of. So that just bothers me because of I just feel like it's a slap in all of our faces.
You're from a different school. You're from a different school, totally. And that's okay. That's fine.
He's not from the Jersey Swap team, but Stu, let's read some of these. Nightmare Raider podcast.
Hold on. Now, let me just say this real quick. I thought how things were, and I don't know the whole thing, but I feel like the way that things were handled with Matt, he could have some reasons to be a little upset. I feel like
with who?
With Matt,
Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the way things were handled with him, right? I feel like there could be some animosity there, and he might have a reason to be a little upset. But as far as what I saw from these other guys. As soon as it didn't work out, and as soon as we weren't giving them everything they wanted and everything wasn't perfect, bye, see ya. So,
all right, I understand.
Okay,
let's respond, Stu. If you can respond to this comment, Nightmare Raider podcast says we can have all the revenue, but team-wise, we're running a ish show. Prime L. Davis would not let a coach run our team this way. Do you have a response to that?
So we can have all the revenue, but team-wise, we're running a shit show. So I guess I would need something a little bit more specific, I guess. What exactly team? I mean, I would need a little. I guess Nightmare. I would need a little bit. I'm not sure exactly where to go with it because I'm not sure who exactly you're putting blame.
I read it as he's kind of saying what we're saying, that the organization is the problem, or at least one of them.
I want to say that again, and I've said this, guys, as a fan, okay, you guys need to hold these guys accountable, okay? You do, and I get it. You have a relationship with these players. That's what makes it fun, right? You're around these guys. If you have an investment in them, and you don't see the coaches, you don't see the guys up front, but the success of a team, guys, ultimately comes down to those guys that are playing on the field. That's where you really need to hold some high regard for what's going on. Seriously. Can you elaborate? You said you guys need to hold these guys accountable. Let me say this. Us as fans need to hold these players accountable. Okay. Yeah, and not just go, oh, well, it's because he has a shitty coach. It is because they're not drafting right. At the end of the day, the guy dropped the ball.
Can I make a point to accountability? I want to make it a point to accountability really quickly. But before we do that, shout out to you. Thank you, Slowtown Trev. Thank you for the love, for the $20 super chat. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for showing some love. And remember, light that torch, hit that like button if you haven't already. You can subscribe to not only my channel, but Stu's as well, For Life or Raider Story, and Stu's channel as well. But going back to the accountability thing.
Thanks for having me on. This is
of course. Thank you for being
here.
We
appreciate you.
Going back to the accountability thing, and just to kind of circle back to what the theme of the show is kind of like who's to blame, the players or the organization. Shouldn't the organization be a little accountable for some of this stuff as well?
Absolutely. Like I said,
I think we deserve that, and I don't think we get a lot of it.
Everybody is to, I don't want to say to blame, but everybody has a stake or a percentage in a win or a loss. Okay. So it's not just when you say, is it the players or the organization or the coaches or whatever, it's all of them. It's just, there's somewhere they're a little bit more at fault than others, I guess. And I don't know. Again, just watching the games on TV, I couldn't tell you where
disconnect.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
well, and you also got to say that week by week, the level of fault or blame it shifts every single week.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Yes. That's why.
So let's take another comment.
That's why football is the greatest team sport, because 1 week the offense is struggling. So, hey, special teams, defense, we need to pick it up. And shit, sometimes the defense is struggling, or even me as a player, I'm struggling. I need my teammates to help pick me up, right? So, yeah, it is going to move around, what's going on, and you would hope that, more guys are how do I say it? Not playing bad, but playing good, and you don't have to pick up for somebody. But, again, like they say, you're only as strong as your weakest link, right? I mean,
yeah.
So,
very valid point.
Again, I would, because let me ask you. So let me say this. This is why I would need to go to practice, right? So if I go to practice and I'm watching, let's say it's number one defense out there. It's their time. Right? You have scout team offense. Well, the coach's job is to pick the plays that they think we're going to see in that game. All right. And this down and distance, in this personnel grouping on this part of the field, they say there's 6 or 7 plays that dictate the game. Hopefully, through those coaches spending hours upon hours upon hours and then going, hey guys, here's what we think. If you see this on this down and distance with this formation, about 90%. Now, is it guaranteed? No, it's not. But in practice, let's say the scout team runs the play and the defense blows the coverage. Okay. Now, are those coaches stopping that drill, going back, running the play again to make sure, hey, hey, Epps, do you know on this one you got the tight? And I'm just pulling his name out of nowhere. Do you know you got the tight end on this play? Oh shit, man! I didn't know that. Well, come on, let's go. But sometimes it's let's just go. It's practice. Let's get as many plays as we can. And now, if that's the case, that's the coaches. Okay, right now, if there's players, let's say guys that are starters aren't out there and practicing and getting looks, and the coach is giving them the information. Hey guys, if you just watch this and read these tendencies, we have a chance to win. Now, if the players aren't taking it and registering it, then it's on the players. But I wouldn't know. You can't tell that. And also, too, at some point, guys, too, people talk about the coaches. This is the NFL. The players are the ones that are really coach can do whatever, but it's those leaders that are going, hey, run that back again. No, we're not going to. No, Spillane, no, you gotta know you got the fullback in the flat there. You know what I'm saying? Or show me that again, and let's try this combo coverage, run the same play, and let's try this other one and see if it works. Instead of just going next.
Wait, real quick, Scotty, before I want to try to get into some of these comments, if you don't mind. Victor Lopez asks or says, do you have a response to this, Stu? Well, Carr left because he was pushed out the door, which I don't think, which really it's Mark Davis's fault for even letting it happen, just for not even a year later to fire the coach.
Okay, let me just make sure. Okay. Again, guys, I'm just going off of what I saw and what I don't know the conversations between Carr and Mark Davis. I don't know the conversations between Carr and who the fuck was the head coach back then? The special teams guy, right? I think.
There's so many. He went through several coaches.
We can't keep up either.
Yeah, so I don't feel that he was forced out because, again, there was no, hey, we want to trade him. We want to get rid of him. We want none of that. They put Stidham in, and he was still – Stidham could have went out there in one series and fucking shit the bed, and boom, Carr's back in there. Yeah. But you know what?
He could have been there if he didn't show up, though, right? He was even on the sideline.
Well, hold on that thought, though, because there were some contractual issues also that him getting hurt would have got him paid. So that came into play also.
Say that again.
Him getting hurt would have guaranteed him some money.
That's
a selfish move, though. That's a selfish move. Oh, you're saying the Raiders did it because of that?
Correct.
But if you're saying that
came into play,
if you're saying that in his contract, if he gets hurt, he's opened up,
guaranteed some money. He would have been, which I'm saying.
I'm going to be out there because I have nothing to fear.
Well, but that led into no, not on the player. I'm saying on the Raiders. That had to lead into the decision to sit him on the bench. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, let me just say, even if that were true,
Bisaccia, there you go. Thank you, Unfaced. Rich Bisaccia was the coach.
Oh yeah, he was one of several. But I kind of lost my train of thought. But even if that were true,
about the injury,
he still didn't perform, to Stu's point, but also whether it was other performance over the contract thing, don't you still show up on the sideline for your team? You don't vacate the building.
That's fine. That's fine. I
just want to, Scotty, I just want to make sure I'm correct. So you're saying that the Raiders are like, listen, we're not going to play him because if he goes out there and gets hurt, then we have to pay him. Yeah. Okay. I got you.
And again, I'm not saying it's neither here nor there, but it is a fact in part of what we're talking about. So
and you know what? I honestly don't know how much that, because you hear stories. This guy, if he catches another touchdown, we got to pay him this, or if he starts this many games, and I don't know if that happens. It probably. I mean, I'm sure it happens. I don't think it probably happens as much as you think it does, or I think it does, or whatever.
Well, and that's why I brought up the point about the agents having a play in this, because those things matter now, and they're getting more and more creative with how they're structuring these things.
And you know what? You guys are, everyone in here is bringing up amazing points. Okay? Yeah. Everyone, you guys are all but I look at it and go, yeah, but we got to remember that the player, though, still, it's on him, right? We want to, and that's just that I do the same thing, right? You go, well, yeah, but I like this guy and this, and there's this, and there's this, and it's like, well, actually, you know, let's at least put a little onus on the guy that's out there. You know, he's got a little responsibility to carry two out there. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes we forget that, right? We're so caught up in everything else, and we don't. It's like
I think Stu, I think the game has changed again. Well, yeah. I think these agents are in these guys' ears, and they're saying, you know, whatever. But you know,
it's not really quick. I do kind of want to just pay a little bit of attention to our chat here. What do you make of this comment here? Alpha and Omega Forever says you can't build anything without a foundation. Got to stop starting over and over again from scratch. I actually agree with that comment heavily, like a lot.
You gotta.
What is your take on this?
You got, and that's the thing. I mean, like you said, the game's different, right? These players and coaches need to win yesterday, right? And you look at a guy like the kid over there in North Carolina from Alabama, right? I mean, he had no fucking chance. You know what I mean? Who?
Are you talking about Tua?
No.
Bryce Young?
Bryce Young, right? He's going to a very bad organization. The amount of again, because of number one pick, a lot of money, it's more expected out of you, right? But he's got no chance coming in there. He needs to be developed. You know what I mean? And like some of the why am I talking about this? What were we just saying?
The comments.
Well, we were responding to the comment there on the screen.
Yeah. We got to start starting over, right? Back in the day, you know, they allowed players to develop. You know, look at Peyton Manning, right? I brought this up. His rookie year sets the NFL record, 28 interceptions. They won, I think, 3 games. Fuck, in today's game, Peyton Manning would be if he had that season, he probably wouldn't have made the next season. But people back then
that's a good point.
You know what? We got to develop this guy. A coach, I got to implement my system. We don't give these guys enough time. At some point, you got to go, listen, we're giving this dude 4 years.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why I'm against this firing culture that Raider Nation's so quick to jump on. We give guys 2 games, 3 games, 4 games. We want everybody's head. You know, everybody freaks out after a loss. We want this guy fired, that guy fired, this guy fired. It's like you gotta let the vision develop and stop with the overturn. This is not a quick fix. I said this in the prediction show. I don't think this year's team's a playoff team. And I think people are starting to realize that when they see what the Raiders are doing this year. They're right at 2-2, right where I thought they were going to be. This is not a quick fix. I think Telesco has a long-term plan where he's going to build upon it. And maybe Devonte doesn't have the time to wait for that plan. But this is going to take years to fix. This is not a quick fix. And I don't think firing everybody is the answer.
No, it's not. And now, if the coaches are just blatantly doing stupid shit, you know, and being flagged, get rid of the motherfucker. But if we're just not winning games or we're not winning tight, you know, it's a win-loss thing. It's like, well, I mean, what's the next guy going to do? What's the next quarterback going to do? What's the next running back going to do? What's the next linebackers? Like, give these guys a chance to. But then I look at it this way too. There's other guys where I'm like, how many chances are we going to give this dude? Like, let's go with somebody else. Let's get out of here now. This staff. I mean, what, they've been working together for, really 4 games, right?
Yeah.
Last season, but yeah. Well, this squad,
so you have an admirer here. I'm not sure exactly what this means. Stu is my dog. I can't hear shit, maybe, but that's my dog.
That's my dog. No Diddy. Appreciate it. Thank you, Unfazed.
He did mention earlier. I saw it and I didn't read it, but he also called you his he said you were his hero somewhere in the comments earlier as well. So
okay. Well, thank you, Unface. Actually, he's the one that did the Rich Bisaccia comment. Thank you very much, Unface. I appreciate that very much. But yeah, it's like let's again. I mean, and I just say this. You know, I live by the golden rule: treat people the way you want to be treated. Right? You would hope that if you're in your job and you're trying to figure things out, you would hope that you'd have a little bit of a grace period. You know what I mean? Now,
Absolutely.
there are other guys, though. There are other guys that have long careers, and they're very seasoned. They know what's going on. It shouldn't take some of those guys as long to get things going, and they should be coaches on the field to the other guys, right? And
100%.
for me, I just think positive. And I'm not sitting here. We're all happy with shit, but there's sometimes you make a correction and you fucking move on. Just like we're having, right? No one's sitting here getting offended and getting upset by because we're disagreeing with us. It's like some guys, oh, that's my boy. I don't want to. No, if he's messing up, because I would hope this. If I'm messing up out there and I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I would hope my teammate would be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing out there, dude?
Right.
What do you mean?
Can I just ask I want to ask the question to everybody here on the panel, and I also want to ask the question to everyone in the chat. Please let us know in the chat, and we'll go around. Maybe we can go around and everyone can give their thought, even after hearing. Maybe some of us just changed their minds. But is this
okay? Because there's points that you guys
who is to blame here? Is it the players that want out, or is it the organization that can't keep a foundation together? Has anyone's mind changed on the panel? I think it's an organizational issue still.
I still think that the organization is the issue here. Stu's made some great points. Yeah, absolutely.
Let me hold on. Let me ask you guys this: when you say organization, how much is it coaches and how much is front office?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
That's a great question. I think that front office has got to take a solid 70% of.
Okay. That I think if you like, you see what I'm saying, it's more than just organization and players, right?
Sure. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. And I'll echo what Scotty said.
Who you guys are talking about a little bit. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
Yeah, I really appreciate that question, because that I can explain it that way better, and I think it comes off a lot better. But if I had to say, I would lay a lot of this in about 70% of this in that front office's lap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mother,
I have to agree. Well, I have to agree. I think it does start from the top.
Fuck, I'm sweating.
You have to hire, you have to get good people in on your crew. I always think about, as a company, you try to get your best management team in there, Absolutely. But the base of your company are those who work hard for you and make it happen. And if you're not recognized by the higher ups, or if they're not able to retrain you as needed, then there's going to be a disconnect there. There's going to be a problem. So it's definitely a team game wherever you are employed. But I think everyone has an important part. And a lot of times the guy who throws out the trash may have the most important part that day. Yes, and everybody needs to be recognized. And if somebody's not doing what they should be doing, they need to be told or retrained. And if the retraining if it doesn't work, time to move on.
And I always say this too, that like sometimes there's conversations that are professional conversations, and then there's personal conversations.
Yeah.
In a professional conversation, you shouldn't be offended by a personal or a professional conversation, right? But it's a thin line, right? And there's a thin line there. I do want to say this. One thing that a lot of organizations from the GM to the head coaches, one thing that that I've seen translates to their failure is obviously their egos, right? Yes. I have a system. This is what we're gonna do. Even if it doesn't work, we're gonna keep doing it. And you're like, what the fuck, you know? And I have respect for somebody, let's say their team's the worst team out there, but that coach is reaching out and he's trying everything he can do to get better, right? Now, there's some people that, for instance, we have a situation that I'm not going to say what team, but it's a college team in a town that's right down the street from me. And there are people reaching out and there's no reciprocation and they're losing. So it's like, you're like, that bothers me, right? I want to say this about AP. The fact that AP brings on the former coaches on his staff that he brought on, right?
I've said this before, yeah.
Jesus, he was my
Marv
coach.
Lewis.
Marvin Lewis, yes, and then the Giants. Fuck, he was my coach. I should know it, but great one.
Coughlin,
right?
Yeah.
So he's bringing these guys on, and I want to say this. This guy back here, you can see him. That cutout right there, Joe Tiller.
Oh yeah.
I was an honorary pallbearer, and I miss him every day. A great man that I learned a lot from. And what he's told me, he said, Stu, he goes, I played at Montana State. I have some offensive linemen from Toledo. He goes, I know football, but I don't really know it that great. But he goes, you know what I do know? He goes, I know how to hire the best guys to coach football, and then I manage those guys. I said, wow, that's somebody that gets it. Because there's other coaches, they want to hire guys that know less than them so that they're never questioned.
Oh,
so
yeah.
They're never, they can run everything, which I don't know why they want to do it. But what I'm getting at is you have AP who has these guys on staff, keeping Rob Ryan and these guys. And then, Rod Woodson, who is a very close friend of mine, was in town this past week. And, he's from Fort Wayne, played at Purdue, legend. Just 17 years in the NFL.
Oh, I don't even think I knew that.
Yeah. So he came in town this weekend. It was homecoming, and Thursday he came around 6:30, and he talked to my oldest daughter about track because he still has track records here at Purdue. He was a very phenomenal hurdler, and from about 6:30 until about 2:00 in the morning, we're just. I have just listening to him, just writing down stuff. We're watching film, and hey, what do you think about this? And what do you think of how I said this? Do you agree with that? And he's going with everything, and he goes. There was one thing I said, I don't remember what it was, because, we were drinking a couple cocktails, and I said something, I need to call AP about that. I need to call AP. I said, so you talked to, he goes, yeah, AP reaches out to me all the time.
Oh, interesting.
I said, wow. I said, that's a guy that he's doing everything. He's reaching out. He's using his resources. He's not just going, well, I'm the head coach, and what I say goes. You know what I mean?
I love that, behind the scenes sort of peek you gave us.
So again, and here's the deal. 4 years, 3 head coaches. When I was in there, then I bounced around a little bit. I think in 6 years I had 7 different head coaches. Right? I would have loved to have a coach like AP. And then you have these guys just kind of fuck you, I don't give a shit. I'm better. And I'm thinking, well, shit, this guy's a head coach. This guy won a Super Bowl. This guy is where you want to get to eventually.
Yeah.
And you want to get the fuck out. What's important to you? Why are you in here? What is it that you're trying to achieve? Because if you're trying to achieve, everyone's goal in the NFL is to win. It should be to win a Super Bowl.
There's a good comment there by Alpha and Omega Forever there. Spicy, the organizational. Yeah, that one. I like that comment. Organizational behavior equals the organization's ability to be successful from top to bottom, and it constantly has to be reinforced from the top down. Yes. I haven't seen the commitment to excellence. I gotta agree.
That takes time to implement that culture, right? It takes time to get the guys, the players that fit into that culture. And because you know what? I mean, it's his first gig. You know, he's hiring guys. Trust me, guys. A lot of these guys sound great in interviews. It's like it's going on a first date, right? This guy, they can say anything to you, but after a couple of months, it's going to wear off, and you're going.
I think that's the issue, especially with us as fans. I think we're getting a little burnt out on the time it's taking. There hasn't been a commitment to excellence in years, maybe decades. In fact, since they've moved to Vegas, they have a 17-18 record at Allegiant Stadium, where we have a losing record at home since moving. It's always 60-40 opposing teams fans. We can't seem to get everyone on the same page. The coaches, the players, this, that, and the other. And I just think, I just think, how much time does it need? I mean, we haven't really seen a real good contender and a solid team in years.
Really good young players. We have some really good young players, guys. I mean, I've been saying from the beginning, Isaiah, and he got his first chance to start. I don't wish an injury on anybody, but this is his opportunity, and he went out there and kicked fucking ass.
Yeah, he did.
Ass. Strong. The lineman from Oregon, and we have guys that are young players that are they're coming up. I mean, now guys like Colton Miller, like it's not so good, but got like Jack Johnson and Spillane and obviously Crosby in this like
Jack Jones,
Jacorian Bennett and Hobbs and obviously Brock Bowers and Mayer and Meyer and I mean these guys we've got some really good players and
we definitely just needed to gel together. Well, we're gonna wrap here in about 4 minutes. Stu, are we gonna see you out in Vegas this year? You're gonna make the trek out? Can we see you at one of these games?
I am. I want to throw this out there. I am. I just talked with Lou Anarumo, the defensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals, is a very close friend of mine. He coached at Purdue, and I am going to go to the Cincinnati game November, I think 4th. Johnny Morant, former receiver that I was drafted with, he's coming in. Actually, Doc's Graf is going to come in along with Wasted. And there's another player that I played with, Landon Johnson, who played many years in the NFL, linebacker. And we're going to go to that game. I don't have, as of right now, any plans. It's just so hard, with my kids, and I don't do well with traveling, and it's a long flight out there. I'd love to go, but it would have to be a deal where, the Raiders would say, hey, we're going to fly you out. And I do want to say this. I did reconnect with Fabian Washington. I haven't talked to him in a while. And Rob Ryan sent me a message of them in the parking lot. He was at the game this past weekend, and Fabian was a great teammate of mine in 05 from Nebraska, and it was great to reconnect with him. But as of right now, I don't have any plans of going out there, but I will be at the Cincinnati game for sure.
All right. So if you're in the area of Cincinnati and you want to go, maybe run into Stu, hang out with him. He'll be at that game. We hope to see you out in Vegas sometime soon, Stu. Remember, if you haven't already, light that torch, hit that like button. Shout out again to Slow Town Trev for the $20 super chat there. We appreciate it.
Very good comments. Very there was no negative. There was no bullshit. It was all very, very good. Very
I
good.
think we have a good crew that pops in.
Yeah, we usually have a pretty good. I would say pretty good. We love our chatters. I mean, I think they all appreciate the fact that we can all have a different opinions and talk about it without attacking each other.
That's what makes it fun, and that's how I learn, right?
Right.
Who wants to sit on here and everyone just going, yep.
Well, yep, and or the opposite is extreme, is attacking each other for having a difference of opinion, right? That also. All right, Stu. Well, we are. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you.
Thanks,
Shout out to our boy Stu, Oakland Raiders alumni. Woo!
He's great.
I just love him so much. He brings us like this great perspective that we will never know as fans. Right, he's worn the uniform. He's put on the pads. He's been in the locker rooms, all that type of thing. So we appreciate his perspective. It was definitely different than ours, and I still have some. So I stick with my opinion, but I appreciate where he's coming from, and I hear what he's saying.
No,
Yeah, I
definitely.
agree.
He's been.
All right,
he's been
everybody.
doing
Well,
more
thank you for
protests.
watching. Remember to catch our show, Monday Night Madness, 6 p.m. Mondays. Spicy Shield Talk, usually on Wednesdays, 6 o'clock. And we're going to try to get some Raiderettes on this show for you as well. And that's going to be on Tuesdays at 6 o'clock as well. So everybody, thanks for tuning in. And if you're following Spicy Raider Girl on Facebook, I've already started the pre-sale on the raffle. If you're interested in the Woodson Whiskey raffle, the 65th commemorative bottle, along with 2 65th commemorative cans of Modelo, along with some Woodson Whiskey swag. We are... Hey, there you go. Mother Moon has it right there. Right there. That's not the bottle we're giving away, but
no,
it's empty. She need another one. You need a re-up. We need a re-up. We're gonna give away some swag as well, so look out for that. And you know what, Raider Nation? We go out one way and only one way. Raiders! Thanks for watching, everybody. And again, shout out to Oakland Raiders alumni Stu for being on the show. We appreciate you, my friend.